What I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting when shit's hard, but what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the beach with the instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on, they got their cup of Joe, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it.
Most people fail that 1 second. David Goggins. Success or failure often comes down to a single moment. That 1 second when you're exhausted, in pain, or doubting yourself, that's when most people quit. It's not the challenge that breaks them, but their reaction in that split second. The first second decision is about mastering that moment. It's about taking control of your mind, shifting your perspective, and deciding, I refuse to quit. I belong here. This mental strategy, used by Navy SEALs, trains the mind to override fear, pain, and self-doubt. When faced with pressure, you pause, reframe, and choose resilience instead of reacting emotionally. By embracing the 1 second decision, you develop the mental toughness to push past discomfort, seize opportunities, and build the discipline needed to win 1 second at a time. The 1 second decision is a powerful strategy for overcoming obstacles and staying committed to your goals. It's about seizing control of your mind during moments of pain or adversity, choosing to push forward because you truly desire the outcome on the other side. You can override impulsive reactions and choose a deliberate, rational response that aligns with your deeper ambitions by taking just 1 second to pause and refocus.
The 1 second decision is, I had to live through that 1 second decision several times during this race. So this race took me 100 and some hours, okay? And this is what people don't get. For you to finish that race, even though I DNF'd, I still finished in the time. So there's a lot of pride in that. If you're 100 and some odd hours, let me use Hell Week. This is a perfect example. Hell Week's 130 hours. And 130 hours is a lot of seconds. A lot of seconds. And if you lose, let's say you win every second but one, you lost. It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I gotta get the out of this water. It's all fun and games, okay? Because at the beginning of Hell Week, the guns are going off. It's like a pep rally. So you're hyped up and your boys are linked arms and you're getting sprayed and it's like a pep rally. The instructors are yelling at you, bombs are going off, concussion grenades, blanks from N60s. Yeah, hoo-yah, yeah, yeah, motherfucker, yeah. But then what they do is they shut that shit off. They shut it off. All that hoo-yah, all that hype, it gets real quiet. And they march you out to that surf zone for something called surf torture. And it's that water, that Pacific Ocean is cold as shit. So no more pep rally. You're now in your head. You're linked arms with, your brothers beside you. You don't know if they're gonna be there long or not. You don't care. You think about yourself. You lay back and that first wave hits you. Your mind goes straight from hour 2 all the way to hour 130. You can't process 5 days of this shit. You're now in a you, like, I gotta get out of here. You're in fight or flight. It's cold, I can't be cold this long. And then this is where that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to be there. You don't care about SEALs. You don't care about any of this shit. You don't care about fighting for your country. You don't care about that gaudy gold trident that they put on your chest. You don't care about any of that shit no more. all you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. You want your girl to hold you. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting when shit's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water. Because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the fucking beach with the fucking instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on. They got their cup of fucking Joe, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it. So mentally, I get back with them. I'm still in the water physically, but mentally, I'm back with them. I'm chilling. I got my parka on, and now I'm thinking logically because I'm warm now. Mentally, I'm warm. I've taken that 1 second. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's fucking think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this shit? Where are you going to go? What are you going to say to yourself? Because you know you're going to get warm. The second you get out of this water, you can take a shower and you could be warm. And in 5 days, you could be out. So I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down because your brain just wants to get the out. Ring the bell, put your helmet down, get warm, and then you're really And these are the things you have to think about in the 1 second decision. So that's what that's all about. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here. And I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds through this 130-hour journey. And I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, F you, I run this motherfucker. And that's what that's all about. Is as you get bigger, as you get more successful, you open the door for people to critique every thing you do. And most of the people who are critiquing you usually aren't where you are. And all their critiquing comes from people who are really at a low level of life, which is sad. But what we do, people who are on the upper level, hearing the haters at the lower level, like I said, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. I started having fun with it. So I'll go through the comments. While most people don't go through comments, I go through them, intentionally look for the bad ones. And while I'll block and delete you because the people on my page don't need that negative energy, I'll block and delete you, but I take a snapshot on my phone and I put it in the archive. So what happens is there's days where I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this today. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So I started making these mixtapes with all of these hate messages about people talking shit. And it became such a source of fuel that it was amazing, because I know why you hate me. You hate me because you're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. So I make you question everything about yourself. So I'm going to continue making you question yourself by coming out here and being even more successful. So I listen to that while I run. I sometimes play it in the house, and it sometimes gets on Jennifer's nerves because I'm sitting and listening to somebody talk mad shit on a loop about me. And she's like, why do you do this shit? It's half comical and it's half inspiring. I'm actually inspired by it. I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks. I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid that I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection.
Undeniable stack of proof.
That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
Imagine sustaining long-term motivation, even when faced with relentless effort, setbacks, and discomfort. The truth is, there are very few limits to what you can achieve if you can harness this kind of mental endurance. Yet, most people struggle to maintain their drive, giving in to fatigue, frustration, or self-doubt. David Goggins, known for his superhuman feats of endurance, underwent a profound mindset shift that transformed his life. This wasn't a simple trick or motivational gimmick. It was a complete reprogramming of how he viewed effort, pain, and challenge. Instead of seeing hard work as something to get through, he learned to embrace it as the path to growth, unlocking levels of mental and physical resilience most people never reach. Most people view hard work as a means to an end, something they endure solely for a future reward. While goals and rewards are important, focusing too much on them can make the process feel even more grueling, creating unnecessary resistance. When your mind is fixated on the finish line, the effort required to get there becomes something to dread. This also makes it less likely that you'll willingly lean into hard work in the future, as your brain starts associating effort with suffering. The real shift happens when you stop seeing hard work as an obstacle and start seeing it as the path itself, finding meaning and purpose in the process rather than just the outcome. When you learn to embrace the struggle, you unlock a level of discipline and motivation that separates the exceptional from the average.
You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life, because obviously you are. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. And if you want to live with that, I'll support you in that. That makes you feel good. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. I want you to learn that the only way you grow is how to look at yourself and say, okay, like I did. Table longer than this. What the f I have to do to get somewhere? I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Well, basically, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I can't do this, I can't do this. I'm all these insecurities. Your life finally started. When you sit there in the ugly mirror and say, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and this, you finally started your life. But most of all, your biggest fears, the biggest things that put you in the place you are today are in there. That's why we all like to keep them shut, even like to lock them up, act like they never happened. That's why you never grow. You never improve. You never have real conversations like we're having right now. Never. Never. Oh, no. Let's not go there. You got to relive it. Every fucking detail of it. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, my dad beat me. And, it is what it is. Hey, it is what it is, motherfucker. It's killing you. It's taking over your whole fucking life. But that's the conversation. Yeah, my dad beat me. I'm fine now, though. I'm good. Okay. All right. No, you ain't. You ain't fine. Human beings want to show you the best side, and they want to hide the worst side. For me, I'm going to teach you how to be vulnerable, because that's the only way you fix yourself. I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself failure. And people are like, that's so depressing. Is it? When you're 300 pounds and you can't read and write and you're f***ed up, you know how many times you're gonna fail on that process? When you have buried yourself in such a deep fucking hole, you better teach yourself how to fail first. Because if you sit in failure for too long, you will never come out of it. So I taught myself how to fail properly. No one teaches you how to fucking fail. And then eventually, I started getting a few victories. If you put yourself in the fire and you come out every fucking day like this, brush it off, not scared to go back in there again, come on, man. Your truth is real because human beings need to hear this. They need to stop hearing these hacks. There's no fucking hack, bro. Do it and do it and do it and do it. That's the hack. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and do it again, do it again, do it again. It's not just there. It's not just there permanently for me. I woke up like every human being does and goes, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit today. How the hell is this gonna work out for me? And you fight that. And you fight that. You don't override it. There's no override button. It's the conversation in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it, but they do. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you. And you don't want to fix it. Why most people don't want to do that is because it is scary. It unlocks a whole bunch of things about who you are and who you're not. It's scary to wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a little pinhole. And then through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. There's no fucking passion. There's no fucking motivation. There's no, oh my God, man, no. It's every day of your life just doing. I just did. I just did. This is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're going to do this today. No, this fucking really sucks. This is real, dude. This is real. Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to be remembered? For you to constantly win. When this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. Because whenever I take these tests that are real hard, in the back of my brain, it's like, there's a good chance you're not going to make it, Goggins. This ain't you, bro. This ain't you. You weren't born like this. This ain't you. The real you, bro. Study all you want to, but the second that computer comes on with 150 questions, this ain't you, man. And somehow, it comes back, I passed. Passed again. Passed again. But that real me back here every time is saying, that ain't you, bro. That ain't you. And I have to outwork that voice. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're f***ed up and this could be hard. But for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not going to make it and still be able to make it. But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I don't mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll
A well-known Stanford experiment highlighted a fascinating shift in motivation. Researchers observed young children who naturally enjoyed drawing and introduced an external reward, a gold star, for their efforts. At first, the children continued drawing, now with the added incentive. But once the reward was removed, something surprising happened. The children lost interest in drawing altogether. Despite previously enjoying the activity for its own sake, their motivation had been rewired. They no longer saw drawing as fun. Instead, it had become something they did only when rewarded. This experiment illustrates the concept of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. When we engage in an activity purely for enjoyment, the pleasure comes from the act itself. However, when external rewards are introduced, our brains start associating the activity with the reward rather than personal satisfaction. Over time, this can diminish our natural drive and make the activity feel like a chore. The problem arises when our dopamine becomes tied to achieving the reward rather than the process itself. This shift can make it harder to sustain motivation as we depend on external validation instead of finding fulfillment in our efforts. That's it for today. If you found this message valuable, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Psyche Ideas for more insights. Thanks for being a part of our team, and we'll see you in the next one.